recording also. अब कैसा है देखते हैं एक बार. Hmm. Okay, yeah, no lagging, right? Hmm. एक मिनट, एक और चीज देखना अभी करके मुझे. हाँ, अल्ट्रा लो लेटेंसी है. चलो स्टार्ट स्ट्रीमिंग. अब स्टार्ट स्ट्रीमिंग. हाँ, फाइनली स्टार्ट स्ट्रीमिंग हो गई. Hello guys, welcome to my channel where I today ah I'm Wolf, Flawless Hall name, and as you can see I'm Dummy Wolf, and I like to read novels. I like to read novels and read novels. That's all about me. Okay, so I'm going to start where I left in my previous live stream. Well, I can. You guys can, if you know the. Okay, we were on chapter 3, likes and dislikes. Before going further down, let me tell you which type of novel is that. The name of this novel is Majo no Tabetachi. In English, Wandering Witch, Journey of Elena, and it's a kind of a dark story, and where you every story will give you some kind of learn. You will learn something from the stories. That's why I like Elena's adventures. So I this is what I like about this anime. And also anime is also going on TV, but the season 2 is not coming. They are working on season 2, and this novel will continue her season 2. So you might get what do I say, spoiler for season 2 by reading this or watching this stream. If you don't like the spoiling, then don't watch this. Or otherwise, you guys like to read novel, then you are welcome here, because novel have more detail than anime, right? And also novel give you more detail, and I think novel is better than anime. That's what I think. Okay, now I'm not going to prove that to you how, because my English is so bad. Even I can't express my feeling in a language, but who cares? Let's get started to it. Okay, so let's get started to where we left off. Yes, likes and dislikes. Hmm. We already completed chapter 1 and chapter 2. If you don't know, then watch my previous video that I believe I uploaded on the website, I mean YouTube. So let's go without any interruption. Likes and dislikes. Ah. Don't tell me these things are mixed into the dish. Saya was sitting across me, glaring hateful at her lunch, especially which was the same as mine, for no reason other than the price. Okay. For no reason other than the price, we had both chosen the most inexpensive option, but apparently she had found something disagreeable about it. You don't like mushrooms? Hmm. I asked, peering at her plate. Okay. She had carefully removed the mushroom from her pasta. Saya glared diggered at the limp pieces of fungi separated from the rest of her meal. I hate them. I mean, they grow off trees, which means that these things are trees, right? I don't make a habit of eating trees, plus, they have an awful slimy texture, and worst of all, they have things strange shape. Strange shape. Ah, man. I think what I getting idea what you are talking about. It's a while. I should be asking you how you manage to stomach them. I mean, how you manage to digest them, right? Okay, it make no sense. I see. That's why you hate it, Raya. Hmm? Well, no sense. She claimed, puffing out her cheeks. I saw now that she had built up an irrational hatred of mushroom. But but you can't become a witch if you are picky. I think that's Elena talking. If you want to become an apprentice, you have to endure eating foods you hate. Seriously? Yeah, seriously. I stepped each and every one of mushroom on the plate in front of me with my fork, moving them to her plate. Consider this part of your training. Eat up. Well, I know where this scene is going on. This is come from season one. I just forget which episode it is, but this is come from season one where Saya showed this where Saya so hatred against mushroom. I get it. Well, I know what's happened. What happened next? I will put video on this, okay, in offline. When I do offline streaming after editing this, I will put offline, okay. Gazing at her pasta covered into portion worth of mushroom, Saya lost all hope. It was several days later. I will have the carbonara, please. Saya no longer ordered the daily special. What will you have, Elena? What is the lunch special? I asked. The server who had come to take our order answered, it's a mushroom cream pasta. Okay. Ugh. That's the same as last time. I glanced sidelong at Saya, who was making a sore face looking at the server. Alright, could I have that without mushrooms? The server made a face like he wanted to say, isn't that just a creamy pasta? But only nodded and repeated our orders back to us before leaving. Hmm. Saya spoke after a little while. Elena, do you not like mushrooms? She was wearing a puzzled expression. Correct. I hate them. They grow off trees and I hate the texture and the shape and everything about them. I hate them so much that I'd like to completely disavow their existence. Huh? Now it's Elena turn. They both hate mushroom. I don't know. I think it's because of the shape. Oh. Oh. I will research how mushrooms look like because I never eaten a mushroom in my life. Yes, you are correct. And you were so preachy the other day. Jeez. I'm live, right? Yes, I'm live. Hmm. एक minute. Wait a minute. My live stream warning. The stream is lower than recommended. Well, whatever it is, I'm recording right now, so it doesn't mind. Ah, she looked silky, and then I answer her with a sly grin. Did I say anything about witches being picky? Yes. You should tell her. You did tell her. You just say that day. Oh, whatever. My English sucks. Okay. The Apple Murderers. Oh, this is a big story. I'm so excited. Wow. Deep in the forest, there was an inn. Late one night, a beautiful crescent moon was hanging over that very structure, making it look like a castle from the outside. Suddenly, a scream rang out. Ah! It was easy to imagine that something was amiss. All the people staying at the inn were probably thinking the same thing. As I dashed from my room, I caught sight of several other guests spilling out into the hallway in confusion, just like me. After sprinting down the hall, I figured out where the scream had come from. A crowd had formed a circle into the lounge. I said a crowd, but I could have counted everybody on two hands. The inn wasn't particularly full. Hey, this is. I can't believe someone would do something so terrible. It was already like this when I found it. The confusion was spreading. Slipping through the small crowd, I entered the center of the circle Did something happen? I asked no one in particular before I largely grasped what had taken place. In the center of a lounge, lying stretched out on the carpet, was a woman traveler who was staying at this inn. Her name was Mari. Wait, you know how Mari looked like? Let me get a picture. Mari. Oh, Mari is not here. Oh, it's a side character then. Mari is not here. That means she's side character. Okay, no problem. Where was I? Where was I? Little shit. I was here. I was here. Yes. I was in. How foolish am I? Didn't even care about which page am I, right? This is good. This is not good. Okay, okay. Here we go. Where the story? Hmm. She was very pretty, and since she had calm demeanor, kind personality, and shapely figure, rumor had quickly begun to circulate that she was far too cute to be simple traveler. According to her, anyway. Now she was lying there limply. She had donned a very expensive looking dress. She has donned a very expensive looking dress, and her complexion was pale and blondeless. I wonder why she had gotten all fancy, seeing as we were stuck here in the middle of a nowhere. She didn't appear to be breathing, her chest wasn't moving up and down, and she was stiff as a doll. Oh. That was not the only suspicion things about the scene. She was collapsed, face up, and next to her lay a single apple, missing a big bite. That means poison apple. Dark red liquid spilled from Mary's mouth. Dark red liquid spilled from Mary's mouth. Stupid, it's blood, making quite a mess of the carpet. She probably died eating this apple. That's certainly what it looked like. Do you suppose she ate a poison apple or something? An employee of the inn timidly looked around at all small crowd. She was probably the person who first discovered Mary. Her voice matched the scream. Her voice matched the scream I had heard earlier. A poisoned apple! Why would it just be sitting out in a place like this? A dark-skinned traveler voiced his doubts. I will nickname dark skin. Dark skin. Why dark skin though? Okay, whatever. A place like this, a dark-skinned traveler voiced his doubts. I will nickname Mr. Tan Man. Tan Man. Tan Man. Oh, I was in a room until now. Really, there was a suspicious person who suddenly tried to prove an alibi, even though no one had asked. Alibi? What does that mean? What does that mean? Alibi. Well, I don't care. He had asked, I think your type is the most suspicious. This is the curse of Apple. She disrespected the scared apple and punishment was delivered. A girl wearing gothic Lolita clothes looked down on a Mary corpse and spit on it. Spit on it? What? Spit on it? How filthy! Wait. Oh, I was in a room until now. Really? There was a suspicious person who suddenly tried to prove an alibi even though no one had asked. I think your type is the most suspicious. This is the curse of Apple. She disrespected the scared apple and punishment was delivered. Okay, see, she disrespected the scared apple and punishment was delivered. A girl wearing gothic Lolita cloth looked down on Marie corpse and spit on it. How filthy! Please calm down. Did anyone witness her final moment? Or did you see any suspicious person? The manager of inn addressed everyone in the room in admonishing tone. As if there would be any witness, barked a drunk woman holding a large bottle of booze. She was right. Everyone looked around at their fellow guests, and nobody had any useful information to offer. There were very few guests and employees present, given how ridiculously suspicious and extravagant the place was. In these kind of situation where everybody was familiar with everyone's faces, word of anybody acting suspicious was sure to spread quickly. Yup, that's what happened in real situation. So that means this was an accident. She unknowingly ate a poison apple that just happened to be sitting here. I put a hand to my chin, puzzling over my own word. Puzzling over my own word. No, could that really be true? This is just a baseless guess, but the reality is that it doesn't matter if this was a murder or an accident. I think what we have got here is something different than either of those typical scenarios. The six people around me all looked at me in unison. What on earth is she talking about? They had to be wondering. Yeah, letting that wash past me, I began to spin a tale. I've heard there is a certain legend in this land. Do you know of it? I cautioned. Goat Girl answered right away. Do you mean the legend of the apples? The legend of the apples. Indeed, I nodded. The majority of the people there didn't know a thing about it and cocked their heads in confusion. Hmm, like this, like question mark on my head. Yes, is it question mark? No, this is my hair making curly, curly hair. Okay. In this land, there is a legend that people will fall into eternal sleep after eating an apple, which happen very rarely. The late the tale dates back 300 years. A witch who was jealous of good looks of a beautiful girl who dwelled in the forest put the girl into eternal slumber by poisoning an apple. Hey, wait a minute. I heard this story. Where this come from? Hmm, I literally forget the princess name. Where nine hobo helping a woman. She given a poison apple by which when she eaten this, she got fell in ill like eternal slumber. And once a prince kiss her, she just wake up, right? Oh, don't tell me. You just yeah. You just copy that story, bro. No. Okay. Okay, let's see what author write again. Come see me again. Okay, here. Look, beautiful who dwell in the forest put the girl into eternal slumber by poisoning an apple. But several days later, a necrophile prince passed right by the girl's body and was so moved by her cuteness that he kissed her on the spot. Hmm? A necrophile prince passed right by the girl's body, was so moved by her cuteness and kissed her on the spot after she came back to life. The necrophile prince spit out, "What the? I have no interest in living girls. Oh, come see me again after you die. Oh, dude," and left. Since then, poison apple grow periodically in this forest, and they are fated to be eaten by beautiful girl, no matter the era. Also, the girls are always awakened by the kiss of prince. Who is this prince? Ha! Oh my god, that's how the legend goes. Yeah, I pulled quite far away from Goat Girl, who was strangely talkative in her field of expertise. In other words, she will come back to life if a prince kissed her. Mr. Tan Man laughed scornfully. Yeah, like me. He didn't even seem to believe a word of Goat Girl's story. Alright, I'll kiss her and make her wake up. Bro, you're 10, man. He didn't seem to believe the legend, but in his mind, lust had probably given the boot or to any sense of reason, making him act strangely. His eyes had gone bloodshot. Wait, I will do it. The suspicious man had red eyes too, But I thought I remembered that he had been like that from the beginning. Maybe he's sleep deprived. Now, now, gentlemen, stop this. The dandy manager stepped in to stop the two of them. Wait, guys. Before going next page, I will take a rest for a while. Maybe 1 minute. Give me a moment. I will be back. I will be back. Hmm. Okay, I'm back. My throat are open. Now, gentlemen, stop this. The dandy manager stepped in to stop the two of them. I shall do it. Oh, he wasn't stepping in to stop them at all. What? Oh my god! Everyone just fighting them to kiss this beautiful girl. Wait, I'm the one who told the legend of the apple, so I have the right to place my mouth on her. Goat girl had entered the ring of man, and I beckoned away from her. Men are idiots. The drunk woman drank her sake as she watched from distance while a man quarreled raucously over the corpse. Their argument was livening. Oh my god, what the meaning of this word? Wait, I will highlight this word and I'll up her drinking session. There's one girl in the mix. The inn employee who was the only sensible one in the place cried, I want to go home. In the end, Mary Cobb had launched the inn into panic. Everyone was ranting and raving, yelling about who would kiss her, or wanting to drink more, or wanting to go home. It quickly dissolved into total chaos. Well, one way or another, this all started with me. What can I do to take control over the situation? I was thinking it over as I watched them make a fuss. Don't get near that scops. Just as I took a dive into ocean of my own thoughts, somebody else raised their voice. Everyone eyes went wide with surprise. What? What we have here is a murder. That scope is important evidence. Back away. Standing there was a fresh faced young man wearing a trench coat. He held his hunting coat, a float booming at horse. Wait, this is the prince, right? Oh no. Oh, I suppose I ought to tell you all. I'm detective of some great Oh no, this is not prince. He's detective. And I'm here to solve this murder with all due speed and precision. Oh, who invited you, by the way? Oh, this might spell trouble. I thought to myself. Well then, before I continue the story, allow me to recount the event of the day and the murder took place. Perhaps there are some hints as to the identify of the perpetrator hidden there. I suppose everything started around noon, and in place like this, in the course of my travel, I had stumbled across an inn in the middle of the forest and was starting up at its palatial exterior. It was situated deep in the forest with nothing but trees on all sides, so I'm sure I was wearing a very puzzled expression. It was so odd that I was convinced that inn must be abandoned. Even as I headed for front door, I was expecting I would be able to squat there just for the night. Ah, welcome. When the manager come out to meet me, I clicked my tongue loudly in surprise. What is this? There is operation. Can I stay here? But of course, in fact, your seventh guest of our day. I got my first look at the inside of place. The interior was splendidly appointed. It looked more like a place than an inn. Maybe the owner had kept it just as they were found it. In this huge inn, there are only 7 customers. I was somewhat concerned as to whether I should stay or not. Since they were operating in such a remote location, I could guess business wasn't booming in that case. They must have charged their customer exorbitant fees, and there was a possibility that extra expenses would show up on the bill. It would probably be best, says the initiative, and hurry out of here. I'm sorry, I began. By the way, if you book now, we can ready the finest quality room at a discount. I'll be staying then. And so I ended up staying for a night. Sure enough, they gave me sumptuous room of very reasonable price. The manager had certainly spoken the truth. The room I was shown looked fit for royalty. A chandelier emblematic of riches hung from the center of the ceiling over a mysterious looking canopy bed. Every inch of the huge formidable furniture was lavishly decorated. There was also a vase for no reason. Vase for no reason, which was placed on a random stand. It looked like something you could get a lot of money from pawn shop. Ha 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 ha. So this is where I'm going to stay, right? An undiscovered treasure. I lounged in my room until evening when my stomach was suitably empty. Apparently, this inn even prepared some kind of a dinner for guests, which for a price I found more than satisfactory. I had a keen hunch that there was a catch to all this, but made a conscious decision not to worry about it too much. Just as the sun was setting, the manager took the liberty of visiting my room and kindly told me that dinner had been prepared. As before, I followed the manager lead the proceeded toward the dining hall where I first met the other guest. Seated far apart from each other at a long thin table, everyone of them looked like a person harboring some sort of a dark secret. I sat down across from a girl who had a look of a traveler. What had been prepared for dinner was a mysterious soup, a mysterious salad, and a mysterious meat. When I say it like that, it sounds like a meal was shrouded in mystery. But when I tried some of the food, it was surprisingly unsurprising. Surprisingly unsurprising. I don't know what does it mean. Say, are you a witch? Hey, are you a witch? TK Gaming. Hello, TK Gaming. How you ended up here, bro? I didn't know about it. Hello, TK Gaming. Well, I'm reading novel here. Sorry, bro. I can't talk to. Why the? You like reading novel? I don't think so. Wait, where was I? Okay, I was here, right? Say, are you a witch? As I was digging into my salad, the girl sitting in front of me suddenly leaned over curiosity. Her gaze had fallen on the star-shaped brooch pinned to my chair breast. I am puffed my chest out a bit. Wow, that's amazing. You look even younger than me. At this point, the girl extended her hand across the table to me. I'm Mari. Nice to meet you. The The pleasure is all mine. I'm Elena, traveling witch. I gripped her hand and I continued to cheer because I'm bad girl with the bad manners. Oh, I'm a bad girl with the bad manners. When we finished our greeting, the girl suddenly lowered her voice. By the way, Miss Witch, which of the men over there is your type? Oh, huh? Look here. There are four men huddled together in those seats over there. Which do you fantasize? In this direction, Mary was pointing. There was a edgy girl. I had already nicknamed her Goth Girl. Eating by herself. Beyond her was very clearly intoxicated woman who was ignoring her food in a favor of more booze. And the beyond her were the four men who were sitting and eating together. The man sitting farthest away was the darker skin is right. The man sitting farther farthest away with the darker skin is right. Remembering name was a pain, so I decided to call him Mr. Tan Man. Sitting across from him is this inn manager. His name is Mr. Manager. Yes, I see. Closer to us on the right, the man acting little suspicious is Mr. Sketchy, and one on the left, the wonderful young hunk of man with fantastic personality is Mr. Hunky. Got it. Who do who do you think is the best? I really like the hot guys, but why did this girl suddenly start checking out the guys? I'm not really interested in any of them. Huh? The hot guy is only really good one out of all of them, isn't he? All the other are past their prime or really weird or just plain old. I think the only one you would be happy marrying is the hunk. The hunk guy, okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm traveling to find my ideal boyfriend, and the hot guy over there is my current boyfriend. Oh, just wanted to brag about your boyfriend, huh? I cringed knowing she. I cringed knowing she went out her way to put down the other three men just to brag about her man. What are you? The type of beautiful girl who stand next to ugly people to make yourself look better? But he is sitting over there talking with the other man, not with you. From what I could see, Mr. Hunky seemed to be having friendly meal with the other three men sitting at his table. Shouldn't he be eating with his girlfriend? My face suddenly clouded over when I pointed this out. That's right. That's the problem. So, I could sense right away that this might turn into long story and exhaled when I realized what was coming. I would have liked to request that she keep it brief. Say, what do you think, Elena? It's been about 2 months since we started dating. Say, what do you think, Elena? It's been about 2 months since we started dating, but he hasn't made to move on me. No matter how much time pass, I can practically feel his gaze on my chest and butt. I can practically feel his. Okay, I can practically feel where was practically feel his gaze on my chest and butt, but he hasn't given the slightest indication that he intend to make a move. No, not to mention he's only kissed me on the hand so far. What do you make of this? Break up with that unreliable man right away. Obviously, that wasn't me talking just now. Huh? Who is this? For some reason, the drunk woman had taken a seat at our table and butt into our conversation while continuing to stick swings from her bottle. Along with her came a smell of alcohol and goth girl completing the set. I could really do without the bonus add-ons. An alleged affair related to Apple scrillage. An illicit affair related to Apple scrillage. Both girls seemed to be member of some kind of Apple-based religion. Drunk lady had sat down with the thunk next to me, Mari, clapping her firmly on the shoulder. Hey, listen to that song. Drink up and forget about it. For now, just have sip. Hey. Then she poured a glass of sake for Mari, making strange sound effect like woot and ayo. Mary didn't seem like an idea at first, but drunk lady chipped away at her resolve, and she quickly gave in and had a drink. Less than an hour later, the two of them were completely sloshed. I can't do it anymore. Why doesn't he make a move on me? I'm sure I'm leaving him plenty of chances. Nothing but opportunities. Make a move. Come on, Mari had snapped. I hear ya men are so dense. They haven't got clues unless you say, I'm waiting. After that conversation unfolded between the two drunken parties that I don't think would be worth repeating here. Do you have any interest in apples in this region? There are certain legend about apple. Do you know? To tell you about it would take some time, but Incidentally, sitting across from the two drunk women was pitiful, which who was being solicited into joining a strange fruit-based religion. Who could be that? Who could that be? Who could that be? That's right, she is me. Then bestowed human with their intellect and become regarded as a sacred food. A certain famous scholar even got a hint for explaining the true nature of our world when he was hit on the head by a falling apple. Do you know what that means? Yes, it means the apple have led human to great feats. Our world was built on apples. The whole world is an apple. I'm traveling around the world to look at apples, and I'm so happy I could die eating apples. Wow, I think at this point my eyes were so dead with the boredom that I look like a corpse. And that's the story of what's happened from this morning until now. After making sudden appearance, that detective had asked us to please start with the event of the day on which the murder occurred. So I had taken lead and told him, as the last person to arrive in this room, by the way, regarding this great detective, you're Mari boyfriend, right? What's the deal with that outfit? You're wrong. I'm famous detective. I have no relation to victim. What? Okay, so Mari crush was on this detective? I see. Victim. I'm famous detective, really playing the role, huh? I was getting tired of his accent, so I gave up on pressing him any further, slipping dogs and all that. But hey, Mr. Detective, you can tell from that story, can't you? This wasn't a murder or anything. I mean, nobody here had any reason to do it, did they? Said Mr. Sketchy, who had posted his innocence so vehemently. What does it mean, man? What does it mean? Let me highlight this. Yeah, that he may as well have said he was the culprit. The great detective shook his head. That's not necessarily true. The victim and her boyfriend were staying at this inn together, right? The boyfriend was accompanying the beautiful victim. In other words, one can easily imagine our perpetrator becoming obsessed with the victim and resenting her. Really? In this case, wouldn't the boyfriend be suspect? Hmm. That's not necessarily true. The great detective looked down his nose at me. There's possibility that the perpetrator decided I'd rather kill her than see her date another man. Huh? I'd rather kill her than see her date another man. He seemed to have a point. Drunk lady suddenly raised her hand, which means that the victim was done in by man, right? So I can go back to my room. So I don't want to hang around in the place that could be sheltering murderer, she said bluntly, cornered with the saving her own skin. That's not necessarily true. I wasn't all that bothered myself, but whenever he said that line, his expression turned arrogant, which got under my skin. Looked at the goth girl eyes. His gaze was turned toward Goth Girl, who was still standing over the Mari corpse. The sleeping princess sent to her eternal slumber by poison apple. Nice. Ha 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 ha. So cute. Her face was triggered red and her breathing was ragged as if she had just sprinting, and on top of that she was clearly drooling. She made Mr. Sketchy look trustworthy. Well, I suppose that means the woman can be suspect too. Even the great detective had pulled away from her. Can't you just call her a culprit already? What? Drunk lady was obviously awakening from her stupor. Goth girl's suspicious behavior was deemed cause. Goth girl's suspicious behavior was deemed cause enough of detain her for questioning. The detective returned to other people to their room for the time being. Under no circumstances should you open your doors, he reminded. Absolutely not, you hear? He emphasized. Never. He added for good measure, so they would probably stay shut up in their rooms no matter what happened. What's your name? We had converted a dining room into interrogation cell. The great detective seated across from Goth girl fixed her in her us unsparing gaze. Incidentally, I was accompanying the great detective. If a Goth girl tried anything funny, I would. Incidentally, I was accompanying the great detective. If a Goth girl tried to anything funny, I would be able to quickly gain control of the situation. She muttered her own name. It's pain to remember, so I'll keep calling her Goth girl. With his arm folded, the great detective cast a sharp glance at her. I will ask you directly. Are you the one who laid out the poison apple? No, I'm not. I believe in apples from the bottom of my heart, but I don't walk around crying bunches of them. Liar! There is no one else here beside you who would bring apple with them. Plus, there is the other issue. Are you trying to say the victim went out of her way to eat it all on her own? There is no way that would happen, which means you are the culprit. It was the total speculation. I was shocked hearing the great detective talk. Better to call a detective defective. Detective defective. that that's a nice one. You're wrong, first of all. You got the wrong idea. What did you say? At this point, Goth Girl let out a long say. Oh, I got a bad feeling about this. First, I may be devout believer who loves apple from the bottom of my heart, but for the very reason I have dilemma of not being able to eat apples. I'm sure you understand why. One reason is that apples are far too scared to be eaten by common folk. What religion do you practice? You must have something you believe in, right? For example, if you are told to eat an image of your god, could you? I don't think you could. So, what I mean, I had stopped listening halfway through, but to make a long story short, she clearly wasn't walking around. Was this any apple with any apple? We had accidentally proven the innocence of our most promising suspect, who could have laid out that poison apple. If only we knew that, we'd able to apprehend the culprit in no time. Ch, ch, but in this case, who is suspicious? The great detective was in very low spirit after failing to get confession of a gold girl as he sat trancing his finger across the dancing room table or dining room table. The detective eyes lit up as something flashed into his mind. Wait a second. That's right. Dining hall, diner, the one serving meals at the inn. That means the person who prepared food for the dining hall is the most suspicious, doesn't it? It was impressively mediocre idea. I was sure he was going to pull the cook in for questioning next, and I was also sure it was not going to lead anywhere either. But what an unreliable detective! The murder investigation had run around, and I was starting to get fed up with the make-believe farce of a great detective. Ah, that's when a shrink rang out. I don't suppose that the news that second murder has taken place. No, who just screamed like that? Okay, that was like that. That when the shrink rang out. Not that I really care, but there is some rule that the employees always have to be first to discover bodies. I don't know. She was already like this when I saw her. This is really awful. It wasn't me. I was in my room the whole time. It's the curse of Apple. Please calm down. The crowd had gathered around the latest victim. Okay, latest victim. The old mystery doesn't solve yet, but we get a latest victim. Okay, sprawled out on the ground. The new victim, drunk lady, was lying limply on her side. Next to her was large bottle of sick. There were no marks from blunt force trauma and no signs of struggle, but a nasty colored liquid dripping from her mouth. Nasty. What the nasty? Oh, I think it's alcohol. How on earth had she ended up like this? Once again, an employee had been the first to discover the body, and she explained the situation. I was patrolling the area to see whether there was annoying suspicious around, but when I passed by this spot, I heard sound coming from her room. They were really violent sounds, so I thought maybe she was being attacked, but she was already. Ah! She broke into tears. Okay, let's get the circumstances straight. The great detective moved on without making any attempt to console that girl. What an awful guy. Take a look at this victim's surroundings. There is a large sick bottle lying here. Also, there is some kind of a thick liquid spewing from drunk woman's mouth. There is only one conclusion we can draw from these circumstances. That's right, it's a deadly poison. It seems we have another incident on our hands with the same culprit as the apple poisoning. No, there's no way. No, there's just no way. This is just ordinary sick, isn't it? There was a large bottle beside her. The stuff swirling from her was vomit, and she was lying limply on the ground. Ew. And put it clearly and concisely, drunk lady had too much drink and passed out. Yeah, that's what possibly happened. And to put it clearly, concisely, drunk lady had too much to drink and passed out. Isn't passing out pretty serious? Yep. Well, she seemed to be breathing normally. She even not snoring. She's not dead, just unconscious. She probably fell to the door, puked, and then blacked out. I hope I'm not like her when I'm older, I thought. There was no doubt this sick bottle was spiked with the deadly poison, exclaimed. Wait, who's calling right now? Wait, guys, I'm coming. I hope I'm not like her when I'm older. I thought there is no doubt that this sick of bottle was spiked. Wait, guys, wait. Okay, let's get back to the. I hope I'm not like her when I'm older. I thought there's no doubt this sick bottle was spiked with the deadly poison, exclaimed the great detective. No, she just drank too much. I insisted. This sick bottle is an important piece of evidence. Don't touch it. I just told you. She had too much drunk. Aren't you an idiot? Are you an idiot? Slop. Yes, indeed. It must most deadly poison. Huh? It's just a sick. You are telling me that you just tasted poison and you still okay somehow. Also, how do you know what poison tastes like anyway? What on earth are you thinking? Contaminating the crime scene? Well, it's just ordinary alcohol. Oh, I can't tell ingredient from such a small samples. Let me let me drink a little more. The capricious detective gripped the sick bottle and took another big swig. Alas, he shared an indirect kiss with the drunk lady. What? A capricious detective gripped a sick bottle and took another big swig. Okay, I thought this is poison. You sure seem happy to be poisoning yourself. I have an immunity. What? I decided it wasn't worth arguing with him. Go ahead and do what you like. All right. The next time is to eat the poison apple that might contain the very same poison. The very red-faced detective left the room, still sipping from the bottle. He must have been unsatisfied with the drunk lady. He was plotting to share an indirect kiss with the Mari too. Oh my god, I hate this. Right, so I will now taste this poison apple, the great detective announced, holding the fruit up after returning from the lounge. Apparently, he was not only one interested in it. No, wait a moment. I was the first to lay eyes on it. That means I have the right to eat. Mr. Tan, man, grab the apple. Wait, I'll do it. If it really a poison, you will die. I'll be fine. I have got death wish. I got a death wish. Mr. Sketchy also grabbed it as having some nonsense. No, no, gentlemen, calm down. I'm the oldest one here. I should do it. The foppish manager grabbed the apple. Okay, it's look like everyone fighting for this apple. Then the four of them starting to each other wordlessly for a moment. Don't joke around. I'm the great detective. I'm going to eat the poison apple. You say that, but I bet you just want to get an indirect kiss. Stop messing around. That's right, and you already drunk from sick bottle too. Now, everyone calm down. I'll do it. Now I'll do it. No, no me. The unseemly men squabble over little apple. It was probably most vulgar argument the world had ever seen. No doubt about it. What are they doing to that scared apple? Quoth Gulf, indigent at the spectacles. Enough already. I want to go home. The employee was still crying. Bleh! Incidentally, drunk lady had just regained consciousness. Leaning against me as she emptied the content of her stomach, she was probably sickened by a terrible display taking place before her eyes. she she was probably sickened by terrible display before her eyes. The argument grew more and more heated. The first one to make a move was Mr. Tan Man. He was well built, driven by poison, driven by passion. He wrenched the apple away from the other three and bit into. Wait, Mr. Tan, a bit into it. Mr. Tan Man collapsed. The apple rolled away. However, he hadn't fulfilled his desire for an indirect kill. He had not. Instead of there were now two bite marks. Okay, Mr. Sketchy was the quickest to pick an apple. Which one? He hesitated between two bite marks. Oh my god, that's right. The smaller one must be spot where the girl ate from. He went from the smaller bite. Oh no! His knees buckled under him and he collapsed in despair. The apple rolled away. He could be. How could this be? Which is it? When the manager picked up the apple, the two bite marks were now the same size. There was no longer a distinction to be made. I choose death over sharing an indirect kiss with the another man. In the end, the manager bet into the red fruit in entirely new spot. Wait, this is meaningless. He realized too late. The manager also fell to the ground. Bro, having defeated his three rivals, the great detective threw the poison apple away. Phew, what an idiot punch. They didn't realize, they didn't even realize this was all part of my scheme. Oh my god, it seemed his mind and what just happened here? It seemed his mind had taken a strange turn on account of his drunkenness. Having drained a bottle dry, wait, having drained the bottle dry, he tossed it to the side. A drunk lady threw up again. Wahahaha! Now the case is mine. This is where great detective export his true nature. So I don't suppose Mari will awaken until I give her a weakening case. Right? That's right. Isn't it, Goth Girl? Oh, yeah. She nodded, raising her eyebrow and surprising at being called the nickname. Which means that until I kiss her, she won't wake up. Score! Apparently, he got really weird when he got drunk. The great detective, completely forgetting himself, sat down next to the girl and then he placed a hand Mari clothing. Ah, he must not ever register that we are here. He must not even register that we are here. Blig. Mari had been troubled because her boyfriend never made a move, but I was certain she wouldn't want to be touched in this fashion. Looks like I'd better get in there and stop this. Hiya! I had taken out my wand. Don't touch me, I will kill you. Mari sat up, caving in the man's face with a beautiful right hook. There was dull crunching sound and then blood spraying through the air. What? Mari sat up, caving in the man's face. Caving means? What the mean of caving? Let me search it down. Caving means copy text. Ouch. Where I can search this? Okay, Google. Paste. The sport pastime exploring caves. Oh, ah. Don't touch me. I will kill you. Mari sat up, caving in the man's face with a beautiful right hook. There was dull crunching sound and then blood spraying through the air. The great detective collapsed. Scum. She looked down at the great detective laid out on the floor, blood gushing from his nose. Huh? She looked down at the great detective laid out on the floor, and as for poison apple, the key to this whole incident, who on the earth was culprit that planted it? That's right, she is me, say Elena. Do you think you could make an apple into poison one? After a dinner, Mari had made a special visit to my room to ask me this question. You see, there is a legend of apple in this region, and she told me a very romantic story. A maiden of the forest was compelled by an evil witch to eat a poisoned apple and fell into eternal sleep, but she was awakened by a kiss from a prince and lived happily ever after. Well, the truth was the prince was necrophile. So you see, I want to try imitate the legend. Huh? That to summarize, you want to get kiss from your boyfriend to wake you from eternal sleep after I trick you into eating a poison apple. Exactly. Sound like a hassle. Oh come on, please, Miss Witch. It was quite drastic measure to make a sheepish man interested, but I suppose there was no other way. However, there wasn't anything in it for me. I won't go so generous that I'd be gleeful, play a role for stupid face. How can I reject her proposal with a poise and grace? I'm very sorry, but if you help me, I will give you the gold coin. Let's do it. And okay, so whole that plot decided by the Alina, I didn't know about it. Okay, let me summarize this story. The Mari is a beautiful who crush never kissed her or kissed her, yeah, and never felt an engagement and anything kind of relationship. Never do a personal, I mean physical relationship. So Mari want to kiss her boyfriend, but he's so no. He's so no interest on Mari, but Mari really want to kiss her. Okay, so Mari come to the visit Alina, and she said to Alina, please, please, please make this legend true, the poison apple legend true. So he will kiss me. Okay, so Alina make this poison apple and put on the Mari. So after this, Mari definitely bite an apple and she fell down and his boyfriend kissed her and after that Mari just woke up. That's all plot done by the Elena. Oh my god. Okay, I could exactly conjure the poison that would kill her, then allow her to revive by kiss from Prince. Also, she had demanded that she be conscious the entire time, so I ended up placing a spell on the apple that would paralyze her as soon as she ate. Until I broke the spell, then I had her eat the apple into lounge, which was the most public place in the inn, and we waited for someone to find her and for the common commotion to start. That was the plan. For Fortunately for us, we had true apple lover, Goth girl, staying with us at the inn. We thought once we set things in motion, Mari boyfriend would plant his lips on her, but I never thought he would appear in a detective costume. Oh my god. It went far beyond expectation. For someone who had never even made a move, he certainly got carried away, steamrolling right past and quick peck to make us spectacle, which is to say, Mari boyfriend was real idiot. Let's break up. I can't believe you. Mari spit on him, cross. What? That's very good. I can't believe. Oh, dude, you break up. Why are you such an idiot? Mari spit on him. Gross. After all that, Mr. Tan, Mr. Sketchy, and Mr. Manager all woke up, caught sight of Mari, and shouted in surprise as they sprinted in all directions. Ah, the dead lives again! The great detective boyfriend stayed unconscious. Well, I'm sure he will wake up sooner or later. Hey, could you go ahead and rent me another room? I hate the idea of staying in the same room as him. Of course, the employee nodded at Mari and handed her key for to a new room where we all decided it was time to leave the lounge. Oh, by the way, we left the detective where he was. Huh. I thought he was a sheep, but he was really wolf in the sheep's clothing, huh? I'm done with him. A wolf in the sheep clothing seems harmless until provoked. I see, a phrase I will probably forget by tomorrow. Appearances sure can be deceiving. I never thought, wait, sure can be deceiving. So this is the moral of the story, guys. Appearances sure can be deceiving. I never thought he was like that. Mary shrugged and resignation. I looked back at her. I opened the door to my room just like poison apple. So this is how story ended. And my stream too. Well, the thing is, I really enjoyed this story. I also enjoyed the Mari and also enjoy the how these girls are so openly says her desire. In real life, no one girls are really like this. Okay, who's talking about real life? I'm more interested about new story. Okay, guys, so meet up in the new live stream. I mean another live stream, where we reading the travel story. I mean chapter 5 and chapter 6 or 2, maybe two chapters simultaneously. So bye bye Sata, and if you're watching my offline and you reached it here, then like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.